Hello students, this is Sujatag coming in class 10 ncert SSC Math with Sujata ji. Welcome students, this is our live session and you are welcome the first time our live session. So now here we are going to solve the Maths 2024 question paper. Now students, there is a one question now, that is, are you prepared for the March 2026 board exam? If you are not, if you are yes, then judge yourself by solving previous year board question paper with me. Okay students, you stay with me, you watch our videos. Okay students, let us start to solve the one by one examples of March 2024 board question paper. So let us see. Now here students, ex- the first example, the first question here, the first question, that is for the choose the correct alternative from given. Now here students, you are familiar with the paper pattern of Maths 1. Okay, so now here question first A, it is for 1 mark and it contains the MCQs. There are 4 MCQ and for the 4 MCQ having the 4 marks. Okay students, so let us see the first question. If 3 is one of the root of the quadratic equation kx square minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0, then k is equal to question mark. Then here the options are 4. So how can we solve this equation? So here students, that there is a 3 and that 3 is a one of the root. So I write down kx square minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. And here put the value of x is equal to 3 in this given equation. And wherever students तुम्हाला जिथे जिथे x दिसतोय, जिथे जिथे तुम्हाला x दिसतोय, तिथे तिथे तुम्हाला x ची व्हॅल्यू ही तुम्हाला 3 ही पुट आउट करायची आहे. ओके, एकदम सिंपल मेथड आहे स्टुडंट. सो हियर k multiplied square of 3 minus 7 multiplied 3 plus 12 is equal to 0. So now here students, that is the k, multiply square of 3, that is the 9, minus 21 plus 12 is equal to 0. So here students, 9k minus 9 which is equal to 0. So now here students, the next step is 9k is equal to 9. So k is equal to 9 upon 9 and that means students k is equal to 1. Okay students, k is equal to 1. So here correct option is, the correct option is A and that is 1. Okay student. So now let us see the next one question. Here students, the next one question is to draw the graph of x plus 2y is equal to 4, find x when y is equal to 1. Students, it is a simple question. Okay, it is also simple question that here first we write down the equation. The given equation is x plus 2y is equal to 4 and here students, there is a clue. That clue is we have to put the value of y and that is equal to 1. And that means students, wherever you see y, you put the value of 1 here. So here x plus 2 is equal to 4. So here students, x is equal to 4 minus 2 and that means x is equal to 2. So here students, our correct answer is 2 and so the correct option is B, 2. Okay students, very easy questions. Okay students, आपलं लाईव्ह सेशन चालू आहे. सो स्टुडंट्स, तुम्ही व्हिडिओ वॉच करा, केअरफुली वॉच करा, स्टे विथ मी. माझ्या सोबतच तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिस करायची आहे, माझ्या सोबतच तुम्ही हे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करायचे आहेत, एक्झाम्पल सॉल्व करायचे आहेत. आपण लढाई ठेवूया. तुमचं बरोबर येतंय उत्तर की माझं बरोबर येतंय? ओके स्टुडंट, दिस इज द वॉर बिटवीन the Maths1 and us. Okay students, who won? Okay, so here students, the next one question, that is the third one question. Okay, that for an AP T7 is equal to 4, D is equal to minus 4, then A is equal to question mark, A is equal to dash dash. So now here students, that the T7 is equal to 4 students. Okay, T7 is equal to 4, D is equal to minus 4, and we have to find out the value of A. We have to find out the value of A. So now here student, the T7 is given. Here T7 is given. That means students, we have to use the formula for the Tn. So here very easy. The formula for Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 D. So that's why students here T7, because I write the T7, I take the value for n as a 7 because the T7 value is given students. So here T7 is equal to, now A, write down as it is, and n, that is 7 minus 1, and multiply by minus 4. So that means here student, T7, that is 4, is equal to A plus, in the bracket 6 multiply minus 4. And here students, carefully write down the value of D here students, because if you do not write down in the bracket this value of D, if you do not write down in the bracket, then there is a possibility to get the mistake. And so here students, you have to write the value of D in the bracket, then you should be correct. Okay, then here A plus, then 6 minus 4 is that means here minus 24, that means 4 is equal to A minus 24. So here students, A, that is here 24 plus 4, and that means students here A is equal to, that is 28. A is equal to 28. So now here students, the correct option is D, 28. The correct option is D, 28. Then the next one example students, see the next one example. In the format of GST in, there are dash dash numerals. Now here students, very easy question. Okay, we know that the GST in, there are the 15 alpha numerals. So here our correct option is C, and the answer is 15. Correct option is C. Okay, then next one student. Next one, that is for the question 1B. Okay students, question 1B, and this is the compulsory question. This is the compulsory question students. Okay, so here each question is for 1 mark, and it is also very easy question students. Do not worry about these question first A and B. Okay, now let us solve these questions. So we solve the following questions. Okay, then the example is, if 17x plus 15y is equal to 11 and 15x plus 17y is equal to 21, then find the value of x minus y. Yes students, here students, that given is that 17x plus 15y is equal to 11. I called it as the first one equation. 15x plus 17y is equal to 21. I called it as second equation. Now here students, if you want to find out the value of x minus y, you want to find out the value of x minus y. That means students, there is a subtraction. We can solve this example by subtracting these equations. Okay students, and here is a clue that the board given the clue, the example given you the clue, and that clue is students, see here 17, the coefficient of x, here coefficient of x is 17 and here coefficient of y is 17, and here students the coefficient of y in the first equation is 15 and here students the coefficient of the x is 15, and so that means if you subtract these two equations then you get the x minus y value. Okay, so let us check out that whether we get the value of x minus y or not. Very easy. So here students, I write that subtracting subtract equations 1 and 2. Students, the instruction is very important. You do not write down that such a type of the instruction, that is subtracting equation 1 from 2, from the equation 2, or you do not write that the subtract equation 2 from 1. Okay, there should be mistake, okay, occur in that such a instruction. Due to that such a instruction, जर तुम्ही असं लिहिलं की subtract equation 1 from subtract equation 2, subtract equation 2 or subtract equation 2 from subtract equation 1, तर तिथे तुमची मिस्टेक होईल स्टुडंट. सो एकदम सिम्प्लिसिटी करा तुम्ही. इन्स्ट्रक्शन फक्त असं लिहा स्टुडंट, सबट्रॅक्ट इक्वेशन्स 1 and 2. तुम्ही पहिलं इक्वेशन फर्स्ट इक्वेशन वर लिहिलं किंवा सेकंड इक्वेशन वरती लिहिलं, खाली कुठलंही लिहिलं तरी काहीही प्रॉब्लेम होत नाही. तुम्ही इक्वेशन्स उलट सुलट लिहिले तरीही त्याच्यात काहीही प्रॉब्लेम होत नाही. ओके स्टुडंट्स, तुम्ही ॲज पर युअर इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स तुम्ही काय करणार आहात, तर तुम्ही जाणार आहात. Okay students, so now here students, subtract equations 1 and 2. Now here first I write down the equation first, 17x plus 15y is equal to 11, then minus 15x plus 17y is equal to 21. Then here change the sign, then here minus 15, here minus 17 and here minus 21. Okay, then 17 minus 15x, that means 2x. 15 minus 17, that means minus 2y, and which is equal to 11 minus 21, and that means here students minus 10 here. So now here students we have 2x minus 2y is equal to minus 10 students. Okay, then here every term, observe the every term students, every term having the table of 2. So here dividing both the sides by 2, dividing both the sides by 2. So here I write 2x upon 2 minus 2y upon 2 is equal to minus 10 upon 2. Okay, and then here 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. So here x minus, here also 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. So x minus y, and here 2 ones are and 2 minus ones are. So x minus y is equal to minus 5. So here students, this is our final answer. Okay, very nice students. तुम्ही सुद्धा माझ्यासोबत प्रॅक्टिस करायची आहे. रिव्हिजन करा, रिव्हिजन करा. रिव्हिजन केले की तुम्हाला मॅथ्स 2026 बोर्डचा पेपर नक्कीच तुम्हाला चांगला जाणार आहे. देअर आर बेस्ट विशेष फ्रॉम मी. ओके स्टुडंट्स, चला नेक्स्ट वन क्वेश्चन स्टुडंट्स. Then here the next one question, the second one question. Okay students, now here find first term of the sequence tn is equal to 3n minus 2. बघा किती सोपे क्वेश्चन्स येतात आहे स्टुडंट्स इथे, होय की नाही? सो लेट अस स्टार्ट टू सॉल्व दिस. First one we write, that is tn is equal to 3n minus 2. Okay, that is a given. So this is the best activity student. First you write down the given, each and every example, for each and every example. Then you should get an idea that what is given in the example and what are you calculate. Okay, so that's why very easy way you write down the given, find the first term. So here t1 is equal to question mark. Okay student, so calculate it. So for that purpose I write down that n is equal to 1. So put n is equal to 1 in given equation. So here students, tn is equal to 3n minus 2. ओके स्टुडंट्स, आणि स्टुडंट्स काय करायचंय तुम्हाला, आता तुम्हाला आयडिया आली असेल ना, n is equal to 1 and that means students that wherever you see n is equal to n, wherever so you have to see n, then you put the value of 1 in there. Okay, so here t1, here 3 multiply 1 minus 2. So t1 is equal to 3 minus 2. So students, t1 is equal to 1. t1 is equal to 1. So right. So finally I write first term of the sequence of the given sequence is equal to 1. Okay students, this is our final answer. Okay, and you always place in the box form. Okay students, yes. Then next one, चला सोडवताय ना माझ्यासोबत एक्झाम्पल्स. ओके स्टुडंट्स, माझ्यासोबत सोडवा, स्टे विथ मी. तुम्हाला खूप त्याचा ऍडव्हान्टेज मिळणार आहे जर माझ्यासोबत सोडवलं तर. चला, then third one, if the face value of a share is rupees 100 and the market value is rupees 150, if rate of brokerage is 2%, find brokerage paid on one share. Yes students, here we have to write down. Here students, we have to first write down the given. Okay, so first I write down here given. So find if the face value of share. Okay, so face value and the abbreviation, that is a FED, is equal to rupees 100. Okay, and then the market value is equal to market value, that means MV, I write MV, and that is equal to rupees 150. Okay students, and the rate of, see here, the rate of brokerage, okay, that is equal to 2%, and we have to find out the brokerage. Okay, we have to find out the brokerage. So here I write down brokerage is equal to question mark. So now here students, there is a formula. There is a formula for the brokerage. And do you know that formula students? Do you know that formula? That formula is brokerage is equal to rate of brokerage is equal to rate of brokerage multiplied by market value. So here students, rate of brokerage is 2% and the market value is students, that is the rupees 150. So I write here 150. Okay students, बघा इथे स्टुडंट्स काय केलेलं आहे, किती छान प्रकारे तुम्हाला गुगली टाकलेली आहे या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये. कशी गुगली टाकलेली आहे, देयर इज नथिंग रिलेशन between the face value. Okay, brokerage is nothing relation to the फेस व्हॅल्यू. बघा फॉर्म्युलामध्ये ब्रोकरेजच्या फॉर्म्युलामध्ये तुम्हाला कुठे फेस व्हॅल्यूची फेस व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला इन्क्लूड केलेलं दिसतंय, इथे नाही दिसत आहे, होय की नाही. पण इथे मुद्दामून त्यांनी काय केलंय, फेस व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला दिलेली आहे. ओके, सो तुम्ही लगेच अगदी अगदी मिस्टेक कराल इथे. that mistake in the formula, that somebody write down the brokerage is equal to rate of brokerage multiply FB. No, you remind that yes, the brokerage is equal to rate of brokerage multiply the market value. Okay students, then here 2% multiply 150 and we know that the 2% means 2 upon 100. Okay, and here multiply 150. So now here we simplify it. 2 multiply 150 divided by students 100. Now here 152 that is 300 and divided by 100. So that means students, the 2 get cancelled and the answer will be 3. The answer will be 3. So here students, that rupees 3. Okay, so I write here brokerage is equal to rupees 3. Okay students, very simple question and that simple question is based on the formula. So you should know the formula. ओके, सो फॉर्म्युला तुम्हाला माहित असेल तर तुम्ही लगेच सॉल्व करणार एक्झाम्पल. जर तुम्हाला फॉर्म्युलाच माहित नसेल तर तुम्हाला फॉर्म्युलाच माहित नसेल स्टुडंट्स, तर तुमची गाडी तिथेच थांबणार आहे. ओके, सो त्याच्यासाठी तुम्ही काय करा, तुम्ही फॉर्म्युला लक्षात ठेवा स्टुडंट्स. ओके, कुठे तुम्हाला फॉर्म्युला यूज करायचा आहे, कोणता फॉर्म्युला यूज करायचा आहे, गिवन काय दिलेला आहे आणि what to find out. ओके, सो या सगळ्या गोष्टींसाठी तुम्हाला त्या एक्झाम्पल ते नीट वाचावं लागणार आहे स्टुडंट्स. ओके, सो ते प्रॅक्टिस करत जा, रिवाइज करत जा. रिव्हिजन महत्वाची आहे. ओके स्टुडंट्स, आणि आता रिव्हिजन महत्वाची आहे ती म्हणजे सॉल्विंग प्रिव्हियस इयर बोर्ड क्वेश्चन पेपर. ओके, देन नेक्स्ट वन स्टुडंट्स, next one is that the third one question to fourth one question. Okay students, that is 2-digit numbers are formed using digits 2, 3, 5 without repeating a digit. Write the sample space. Yes students, here we have to write down the first one, that is the sample space. Okay, but the given condition is that there are the given digits 2, 3, 5. Okay, first I write down that the two digit numbers form using digits 2, 3 and 5, and also the condition is that without repeating a digit. Okay, this is the given condition students. So for that, the 2-digit numbers, which are the 2-digit number, and that means here that 2-digit numbers formed using digit 2, 3 and 5 without repeating a digit. That means students, it is nothing but the sample space. That is nothing but the sample space. Okay, which is equal to sample space. I write here is equal to samples. Okay, and that sample space denoted by S. So I write here S. So here the numbers are, first I take out the 2. So 2, 3, 2, 5. Then take out the 3 first. So 3, 2, 3, 5. Then take the first number 5. So 5, 2 and 5, 3. Yes, students. So these are the sample space. So this is the sample space of the given two-digit numbers. Okay, students. Then next one example. Okay. Now here I think here the first question is completed. Yes, we completed the first question. बघा किती easy examples होते सगळे, होय की नाही? खूप easy examples होते. So now here you completed such a way that do not worry about that. The first question is really easy question, simplest question. So now let us solve the second one question, and that second one question, each question having the 2 marks, each question having the 2 marks, students. Okay, so now here students, complete the following activities and rewrite it any two. Okay, now here the option. Okay, आता तुम्हाला इथे ऑप्शन दिलेले आहेत students. Okay, so first one question, if 02 is the solution of 2x plus 3y is equal to k, then to find the value of k, complete the following activity. Okay, students, then here activity 02 is the solution of the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to k. Then put x is equal to. So now here students, these are the coordinate points. These are the coordinate points, and that here the first value is for x and the second value is for the y. This is for x and this is for y. So here put x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2 in the given equation. Then 2 multiply. Now here you take the equation that 2x plus 3y is equal to k. Then 2 multiply 0 plus 3 multiply 2 is equal to k. So here the multiplication of these 2 multiply 0, that means 0, plus product of these 3 and 2, 6, which is equal to k. So now here the next step will be 6 is equal to k. So that means here k is equal to 6. Okay, students, such a way. Do not write the extra steps, students, to you. ओके, टू युअर सेल्फ. तुमच्या स्वतःच्या स्टेप्स इथे काहीही लिहू नका स्टुडंट्स. इथे ॲज इट इज जशी ऍक्टिव्हिटी दिलेली आहे तसेच्या तसे सेंटेन्स तुम्हाला लिहायचे आहेत. यू शुड राईट each and every sentences in your answer sheet as it is. Okay, do not jumble out, do not write down extra steps from your side. Okay students, तुमच्या बाजूने कोणत्याही स्टेप्स तुम्ही लिहायच्या नाही. यू शुड राईट डाऊन फ्रॉम द ऍक्टिव्हिटी. ओके, यू शुड राईट डाऊन फ्रॉम द ऍक्टिव्हिटी अप टू द लास्ट स्टेप. Okay students, next one is that example. Next one example is that if 2 and 5 are the roots of the quadratic equation, then complete the following activity to form quadratic equation. So now here activity, let alpha is equal to 2 and beta is equal to 5 are the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, then quadratic equation is, so now here students the quadratic equation is that here this is the formula for the quadratic equation, and that is x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Then here students, that x square, write down as x square as it is, minus then 2 plus here is the beta, that beta is 5. So I write here 5, that is in the bracket 2 plus 5 multiply x, and then here alpha beta, that means alpha is here the 2. So 2 multiply 5, which is equal to 0. So here students, x square minus that the addition of these two. So 7x plus product of this, that is the 10. Okay students, bus. So the final answer is x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. Yes students, very nice. Solve करा, माझ्यासोबतच example solve करायचे आहे. Then next one example students. See the next one example, that is two coins are tossed simultaneously. Complete the following activity to write the sample space and given events A and B in the set form. Yes, in the set form you have to write the answer. So now here event A, to get at least one head. Event A, that is you have to get at least one head. And then activity, two coins are tossed simultaneously. Therefore, sample space is sample space. Two coins are tossed simultaneously. So that means S is equal to. Now we have write down the S is equal to. So here we write down that HH, HT, TH, and in this box I write down the TT. Okay, and then next one, event A, to get at least one head. Yes students, we want at least one head. We want at least one head. Okay, so that means here students, A is equal to at least one head, that means HH. Yes, it is possible. Then HT and the TH. Okay, now event B, to get no head, no head, no head. That means students, B is equal to TT. In the TT there is no head. Okay, so it is the correct answer. So this way you have to write the sum, that the blank spaces. Okay, you fill up the blank spaces. Then here students, the next one, that I think we completed the question 2A. Okay, now the sub question B, that is solve the following sub questions any four. Any four, that means students, we know that each question having the 2 marks. Okay, 2 marks. Okay, चला आपण बघूया. First one, quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. Write two simultaneous equations using information given below in the diagram in the form of ax plus by is equal to c. Okay students, and here the diagram is for the rectangle. The diagram is for the rectangle. See here, this is the A, this one is the B, this one point is C, and this one, that is a point, we can call it as a vertex. Okay, so A, B, C, D is a rectangle, and here this the example want that you write the equation, you form the equation, and that equation should be in ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. ओके, एक्झाम्पलची डिमांड काय आहे ती समजून घ्या. पहिल्यांदा तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल मध्ये काय सांगितलंय, तुम्ही तयार करा. You write down the equation such a way that it should be ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay students, चल आता आपण बघूया इथे इक्वेशन कसं फॉर्म करायचं. So that's why here geometry comes students. Okay, that geometry comes. We know about the property of the rectangle. Okay, that property of the rectangle says that opposite side of the rectangle are congruent. Opposite side of the rectangle are congruent. Okay, so I write down this property first. Okay, so I write down the property of rectangle, that means in rectangle opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides are congruent. Okay, and that means students here AB is equal to CD. AB is equal to CD. Okay, students, and here also, and we can say that AD is equal to BC. AD is equal to BC. Okay, so first we take out the AB is equal to CD. AB is equal to CD. So the AB is 2x plus y plus 8, and the length of CD, that is 4x minus y. So you have to only solve this example. Okay, so this way, in a simplified way. So the simplest form, 2x plus y minus 4x plus y. I shift these two. 4x, positive 4x, that means minus 4x. Minus y, that means plus y. And is equal to positive 8, that means negative 8. Okay, very simple, students. So here 2x minus 4x, that means minus 2x, plus y, that means plus 2y, which is equal to minus 8. And then here, students, that dividing both the sides by 2. Dividing both the sides by 2. So here I write down minus 2x upon 2 plus 2y upon 2, which is equal to 8 upon 2. Okay, because each term, the coefficient, or here the constant, is in table 2. Okay, so we divide these terms by 2. So now here, that is minus x plus y is equal to 4. So this way, minus x plus y is equal to 4. Also, if you want simplify further, then you also simplify, that is x minus y is equal to 4. Yes, so this is our final answer, that is that final equation is in this way, ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, students, see here, observe, x minus y is equal to 4. Okay, students, and that means this is the final answer. Okay, when you take that AB is equal to DC. So now here, students, the second condition, in that second condition, AD is equal to BC. Okay, student. So AD means the 2y, which is equal to BC. BC means x plus 4. So here I write down minus x plus 2y is equal to 4. So that means, students, x minus 4y is equal to minus 4. Yes, students. So this is in the form of ax plus by is equal to c. Very example, easy example. Okay. So next one example, students. बघा किती एक्झाम्पल अगदी इझी येतात आहे तुम्हाला, होय की नाही स्टुडंट्स? पण तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिस केली पाहिजे. जर प्रॅक्टिस केली तर नक्की तुम्हाला येतील. ओके, नेक्स्ट वन, सॉल्व द फॉलोइंग क्वाड्रॅटिक इक्वेशन युजिंग फॅक्टरायझेशन मेथड. Using factorization method. Yes, student. So first we write down the quadratic equation here. X square minus plus x minus 20 is equal to 0. Yes, students, we apply the one condition, and that one condition is that we have to find out the two number in such a way that their product will be minus 20. Their product will be minus 20, and their addition or subtraction will be the coefficient of x. And here the coefficient of x is disappear. That means it is nothing, no one is there. But here it is still there is a coefficient, and that coefficient is 1. So here students, that the subtraction or addition should be positive 1. Which are the two numbers? Which are such a two numbers? The such a two numbers are students, that is 5 fours are 20. Okay, first I write down 5 fours are 30, 20. Then here, so adjust the proper sign to these numbers. So here I write down, that is a here positive 1. So here positive 5 and here minus 4. Okay student? And then I write down x square plus 5x minus 4x minus 20 is equal to 0. Okay, now here students, get the common from these two terms. Okay, make the group of these two, and then common from this first group, that will be x. So x plus 5 minus the common is from these two terms is 4, and then x plus 5. Okay, then is equal to 0. Then here students, see these two brackets are equal. These two brackets are equal. That means we write x plus 5 in the first bracket and the remaining terms that is in the second bracket, that is x minus 4. So here x minus 4 is equal to 0. Very easy students. And then the next step will be x plus 5 is equal to 0, or we say x minus 4 is equal to 0. So now here students, x is equal to minus 5, x is equal to minus 5, and here students, x is equal to 4. Yes students, but so here we can say that minus 5 or 4 are the solution of the given quadratic equation Okay students, this way. So this is our final answer. Okay, this is our final answer. बघा, सोप्या आहेत ना examples. चल, next one is that students, find the 98th term of the following AP: 7, 13, 19, 25, comma, dot, dot, dot. So I write that given, in the given, okay, that T19 is equal to question mark and the AP as 7, 13, 19, 25, comma, dot, dot, dot. Okay, students. And then next one, that is from the AP. So I write here that AP is equal to 7, 13, 19, 25, comma, dot, dot, dot. That means from the AP, A is equal to 7, and then students, D is equal to 13 minus 7, which is equal to students 6. Okay, now here we have to find out the T19. T19, that means students, N is equal to 19. N is equal to 19. So now here we write the formula for the Tn. Okay, so इथे सुद्धा क्लू दिलेला आहे स्टुडंट्स तुम्हाला. कोणता क्लू दिला? That is, we have to find out the T19. That means you should have to use the formula for the Tn, and definitely you will get the value of T19. So here I use the formula Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 D. Then here T19 is equal to A, that is 7 plus 19 minus 1, and the D, that is the 6. Okay, I write in the bracket. Then T19 is equal to 7 plus 18 multiply 6. So here T19 is equal to 7 plus then 18 6 are 108. Okay. So here T19 is equal to 115. Okay. 115. So here we write down the final answer, that is the 98th term of the given AP AP means the arithmetic progression, which is equal to 115. Okay student, so this is our final answer. Okay, very good. You come with me, you stay with me, you practice with me, and you revise with me. And definitely you should get the 100% result in Maths 1 students. Okay, so next one आपण example बघूया. Next one example is that students, a card is drawn from well shuffled pack of 52 playing cards. Find the probability that the card drawn is a face card. Yes, students. So now here, first I write down a card. That a card is drawn. A card is drawn from well shuffled pack. From a well shuffled pack of 52 of 52 playing cards. Okay, 52 playing cards. Now here 52 playing cards. So that means students here the sample space S is equal to that we do not write down the sample space, students. Do not write the sample space. You write down the 52 elements in this sample space. No, there is no time to write down such a thing. So you do not write down the sample space. You directly write down, students, you write down the n of s is equal to 52. Okay, students? This way. Okay? And then here we have to find out the probability, students, probability of probability that the card is a face card. Okay, which is equal to question mark. Okay, so now here student, first I write down that a card n of s is equal to 52. Okay, then here the probability that a face card, first I write down event A, so let event A that the card is a face card. So here that card is a face card. That means students n of A is equal to 12. Okay, n of A is equal to 12. And here students the probability of A is equal to n of A upon n of A. Okay, हा फॉर्म्युला सुद्धा लक्षात ठेवायचा आहे स्टुडंट्स. P of A is equal to n of A upon S. So here P of A is equal to that n of A is 12. Okay, and the n of S is the 52. That means students that 4 3s are, and here 4 1s are 4 3s are. Yes, so probability of A is equal to 3 upon 13. The probability of A is equal to students 3 upon 13. Okay students? Yes. Then next one example students. See the next one example. The following table shows classification of number of workers and number of hours they work in software company. Prepare less than upper limit type cumulative frequency distribution table. Yes, students. Here we have to find out the cumulative frequency, and the cumulative frequency that is of the type upper limit. That is of the type upper limit. Okay, so now here students, first we write down the table as it is. As it is. Okay, the first column, prepare the first column as it is, number of hours daily. That is from 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 14, 14 to 16. Okay, and also the column 2, write down column 2 as it is. That is number of workers, 150, 500, 350, that respectively. And then you make out the third column, and that third column will be for the cumulative frequency, which is of the upper limit type. Okay, students? Then see here. Then I also extend the third column here. Okay? So here students, that I write down the instruction, that is cumulative frequency, upper limit less than upper limit time, less than upper limit time. Okay, student? So now here students, that upper limit time. So that means here you write this frequency as it is here in this column 150. Then here students, 150, add this 150 in this 500. So here students, that is equal to 650. Then write down the 650. Okay, this answer. First write down this answer. And then add here the 300. Add here the 300. And that is equal to students, that is 950. That is equal to 950. And then here write down the 950 plus, that is 50. Then the answer is 1000. Okay, so this such a way you have to form the table. Okay, students, you should write down the these three column in the board examination paper March 2026. Okay, only do not write the third column, students. Write down all these three columns. Okay, students. Next one example. Next one example, students. See. Okay, now here students, the question 2 is completed. Okay, so now come forward towards the question 3. And question 3a, then here anyone, we have to write anyone. This is also activity based question, and we have to solve the one question and for which is 3 mark. So here complete the following activity and rewrite it. First one, the following frequency distribution table shows the classification of the number of vehicles and the volume of petrol filled in them. To find the mode of the volume of petrol filled, complete the following activity. Yes, students. So here the first is that the class, that is the petrol filled in liters, and here that the class intervals are here students, that class intervals are 0.5 to 3.5, 3.5 to 6.5, then 6.5 to 9.5, 9.5 to 12.5 and 12.5 to 15.5. And the frequency that means the number of vehicles is given as a respectively 33, 40, 27, 18 and 12. Okay students, and for this given information, for this given table, we have to solve the activity. Okay students, lakshat theva, this is the answer, this is the question for the mark 3. Okay, very important students, and this is the activity based question. And so students, do not get the mistake here. Okay, do not single time mistake here. Okay, so here the activity from the given table, so the modal class. So here students, we write the modal class. So which one is the modal class students? Here the modal class, that means the frequency, the higher frequency. See the table here, that the highest frequency is that. See here students, 40. The highest frequency is the 40. Okay, and so that means here we take out the modal class. This is the 40 is the frequency, but with respect to the 40 frequency, the class is 3.5 to 6.5. So here I write 3.5 to 6.5. Okay students, and then next one, we have to find out the mode, and here we have to write down the formula. Okay students, here the question is activity based, so the half formula is given, but you should totally remind that the formula. Okay, तुम्ही तो फॉर्म्युला बरोबर रिमाइंड करून घ्या. ओके स्टुडंट, लक्षात ठेवा तो फॉर्म्युला. सो हियर मोड इज इक्वल टू that L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 multiply H. So now here next step is for the substituting the values. So mode is equal to that L is equal to, here students observe the values for here from the table, that here from the class, that is the L. So L is equal to 3.5. Here students, this value, that the 40 is the F1, and before that the value is F0, and after that which is equal to F2. Okay students, and the H, that is the height, that means the difference between the classes, and the difference between the classes is 9.5 minus 6.5, that will be 3. 3.0, that will be 3. Okay student, so I write here 3.5 plus 40 minus 33 divided by 2 multiply 40 minus 33 minus 27 multiply 3. Okay, H is equal to 3, and then mode is equal to 3.5 plus here 40 minus 33, that is equal to 7, then 2 multiply 40, that is equal to 80, and minus 33 minus 27, which is equal to students minus 16, and multiply by 3. So now here students, here the next step is they want that the direct answer. So how is it possible to write down the direct answer? No. So you solve it in the rough page. Okay. So here I solve here 3.5 plus 7 upon 80 minus 60 multiply 3. So here students, the next step will be 3.5 plus 7 upon 20, and here 7 multiply 3 upon 20. So here 3.5 plus 21 upon 20. Okay students, then 21 upon 20. What will be the fraction of this? So I do here that 21 divided by 21 divided by 20. So here 21 divided by 20, so 21s are 20. Here then 1, taking point, here 0, taking then point, then again 0, then here again 0. So here 20 5s are 100. Okay students, this way the fraction will be 1.05. So 3.5 plus 1.05, and that means students the mode is equal to here that 4.55. Okay, mode is equal to 4.55. Okay, so now here after getting the answer we write here 4.55. Okay, and then here the mode of the volume of petrol filled is 4.55. Okay students, this way. Then here the next one question students, the next one question here, the total value with GST of remote control toy car is rupees 2360. Rate of GST 18% of toys. Then complete the following activity to find the taxable value for the toy car. Okay students, this is a question from the financial plan. So it is activity based. So here total value for toy car with GST is equal to rupees 2360. Then rate of GST which is equal to 18%. Let taxable value for toy car be rupees X, and then here GST is equal to 18 upon 100 multiply X. Okay, GST becomes 18% into X. Okay, that is the formula. See students, the formula for the GST is the rate of GST multiply here X, and here we X, that means a taxable value. Okay, so we can get the value of the GST. So total value for the toy car is equal to taxable value for toy car, taxable value for toy car, and plus, that means here students, plus GST. Okay, so here we write GST. Okay, this is the total value for toy car. Okay, and then 2360 is equal to, okay, and the taxable value for toy car, taxable value for the toy car is X. So X plus here now the GST. What is the GST? That is 18 upon 100 multiply X. Okay students, and that means here 2360 is equal to, that means here students we do the calculation of this. So the calculation of this, that is X plus 18 upon 100, here 18x upon 100. Okay, and that means here cross multiply students, 100 plus, sorry, 100x plus 18x divided by 100, and that means students 118x upon 100. So here students I write here 118, only 118 because x is the already written. Okay, and then here 2360 multiply 100 is equal to 118x. So x is equal to through 2360 multiply 100. Okay, and divided by 2360 multiply 100 and divided by 118. Okay students, in the box you write 118, and then the taxable value for toy car is rupees. So we have to calculate, we have to solve this equation. Okay student, so 2360 multiply 100 divided by 118. Okay student, so if you observe carefully, 118 and 216, Then here students 118 2s are, that means here 236. Okay, so here 118 ones are 118 and here 2 and 0. That means here students the 20 multiply 100 and that means students here the answer is 2000. Okay students, the answer is 2000. So here students, we write here in this box rupees 2000. Okay students, carefully, step by step, you carry on, you solve the board exam 2026. Okay, अगदी स्टेप बाय स्टेप आणि व्यवस्थित माइंड अगदी फ्रेश ठेवून तुम्ही हे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करायचे आहेत की जेणेकरून तुम्हाला अगदी व्यवस्थित हे तुमचे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व होतील, तिथे कुठलीही मिस्टेक होणार नाही. ओके, देन नेक्स्ट वन स्टुडंट्स, नेक्स्ट एक्झाम्पल that is, see here. Okay, that solve the following sub questions any two. So now here students, it is the sub question of the question 3 and it is also for the math 3. ओके, सो हा सुद्धा प्रॉब्लेम आता तुम्हाला डिस्क्रिप्टिव्हली सॉल्व करायचा आहे स्टुडंट्स. ओके, सो त्यासाठी तुम्हाला काय करायचंय, नीट अगदी गिवन, यू शुड राईट गिवन, देन यू राईट द फॉर्म्युला and then you write the procedure that we have to processing over that example. Okay, so first one example, solve the following quadratic equation by formula method, that is 3m square minus n minus 10 is equal to 0. So student, quadratic equation लक्षात ठेवा that my video is for the common asking board questions. Okay, that video is very beneficial for you students. Okay, for class 10 Maharashtra board students, and you have everybody observe carefully that video students, common asking board questions. Okay, for 1 mark and for the 2 mark students. Okay, and as well as I write down the which questions are repeated in the March 2026 board exam will be included in the March 2026 exam. Okay, so you practice it. So now here students, if you observe, if you see the video, then there is a frequently asking question, and every time that the in March in board questions, in board paper, okay, there are the quadratic equation, solve the quadratic equation, and that quadratic equation solved by factorization method, then formula method. Okay, and this formula method and these formula method and the factorization method that are included, compulsory included, and these questions are really enjoy. Okay, the students. Okay, आणि हे क्वेश्चन जे बोर्ड पेपर सेटर आहेत तर त्यांना खूप आवडतात हे क्वेश्चन्स. ओके स्टुडंट, सो तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवायचं आहे की त्यांची आवड काय आहे की सच अ टाइप ऑफ द question, asking such a type of the question. So frequently asking board questions आहेत. So हे questions तुम्ही करायचेच आहे स्टुडंट. सो त्यासाठी तुम्ही जो व्हिडिओ आहे कॉमन आस्किंग बोर्ड क्वेश्चन पेपर्सचा व्हिडिओ नक्की ऑब्झर्व करा. ओके, अँड वॉच केअरफुली. देन हिअर स्टुडंट्स, सॉल्व द फॉलोइंग quadratic equation by formula method. 3m square minus n minus 10 is equal to 0. So here student, first I write down the quadratic equation 3m square minus n minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, and then this equation that I compare this equation with the general form of the quadratic equation. So I write here compare this equation with general form of quadratic equation. General form of quadratic equation. Ax, students here, am square plus bm plus c is equal to 0. So now here students, the general form, I write the general form here in the m variable, and already that all teachers forgot that the variable should they use the variable n, because here the variable given quadratic equation is in the variable n. So here so many teachers write down that quadratic equation, compare this equation with general form of the quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So do not mistake such a way, students. You do not get the mistake such a way. You should write that compare this equation with the general form of quadratic equation with am square plus bm प्लस सी इज इक्वल टू 0. आपल्याला जे व्हेरिएबल दिलेलं असेल तर त्याच व्हेरिएबल मध्ये आपल्याला काय करायचंय, तो जनरल फॉर्म आपल्याला राईट डाउन करायचा आहे. सो हियर स्टुडंट्स दॅट बाय कंपेअरिंग, सो ॲट द प्लेस ऑफ ए हियर द 3, here is 3, so a is equal to 3. At the place of b, here c, the minus 1, so I write a is equal to minus 1. At the place of c here students, there is a minus 10, so I write down minus 10. Okay, so here the first, this is the primary process that you have to find out the value of a, b, c. You have to find out the value of a, b, c while solving this quadratic equation with formula method. Then our primary step is done. So then here that the formula. So I write down that formula with respect to n. So n is equal to minus b plus or minus in the square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay students, 2a, and then here I substitute the values. So m is equal to minus 1 plus or minus in the square root minus 1 square of minus 1 minus 4 multiply 3 multiply minus 10, then 2 multiply 3. Okay student, such a राईटली अगदी व्यवस्थितपणे तुम्हाला व्हॅल्यू भरायची आहे तिथे स्टुडंट्स. काय करायचंय, तुम्हाला तिथे व्हॅल्यू सबस्टिट्यूट करायची आहे. ओके, बरोबर त्या ठिकाणी व्हॅल्यू सबस्टिट्यूट करा. ओके, अँड देन हियर स्टुडंट्स द नेक्स्ट वन स्टेप इज सॉल्विंग. दॅट इज m is equal to plus 1. Plus 1 means students 1 only. So I write down here 1 plus or minus square root of minus means 1. Then here minus, and then here students the 4 multiply 3 and then minus 10. So here 4 multiply 3, that means students here 12, and 12 multiply the 10, that means here minus 120, and divided by the 2 multiply 3, and that means the 6. Okay, and then m is equal to 1 plus or minus in the square root 1 plus 120 divided by 6. So here m is equal to 1 plus or minus in the square root 121 divided by 6. Okay, the next step, that is m is equal to 1 1 plus or minus in the square root 121, in the square root 121, then divided by 6. So here students, that 1 plus or minus square root of 121, and that is equal to 11. So here I write 11 and divided by 6. So here m is equal to, now here I bifurcation this step. Okay, so such a way that m1 is equal to 1 plus 11 upon 6, and here students I write down m2 is equal to 1 minus 11 upon 6. So here students m1 is equal to 12 upon 6. That means here m1 is equal to 2. Okay, that means here how it come, 6 ones are and 6 twos are. Okay, and here students m2 is equal to minus 10 upon 6, and that means here students m2 is equal to minus, here 2 threes are and here 2 fives are. So minus 5 upon 3. Yes students. So such a way we get the two solutions. So I write down here 2 and minus 5 upon 3 are the solutions, are the solutions of the given quadratic equation, of the given quadratic equation. Okay students, of the given quadratic equation. Such a way you can solve it. Okay, स्टेप बाय स्टेप अगदी व्यवस्थित तुम्हाला हे एक्झाम्पल्स करायचं आहे. ओके, सो स्टुडंट्स, आर यू रेडी for the March 2026 exam, board exam? So if now I think that you definitely ready for it after solving such a type of previous year board questions paper. Okay, so now here let us see the next one example students. Okay, so the next one example is that solve the following simultaneous equations using Cramer's rule. That is 3x minus 4y is equal to 10, 4x plus 3y is equal to 5. Okay students, board exam सेटर वाल्यांना हे सुद्धा अगदी आवडीचा एक्झाम्पल आहे क्रॅमर्स रूल. ओके, that is a solving the equation, quadratic equation by the formula method and solving the quadratic equation by the factorization method. ओके, सो त्यांना खूप खूप आवडीचा प्रश्न आहे त्यांच्या, and so it is frequently asking questions. So it is frequently asking questions and you should do it. You must do it. तुम्हाला तो करून जायचाच आहे. ओके स्टुडंट्स, चल आपण बघूया आता हा एक्झाम्पल. ओके, बाय द क्रॅमर्स रूल. फर्स्ट I write down the given equation 3x minus 4y is equal to 10 and call it as the first equation. Then 4x minus plus 3y is equal to 5. Call it as the 2 equation. Okay students, इथे जंबलिंग करू नका students. Okay, that coefficient of 3, here is 3, here is 4, so here is 4, and so and subtract here, then added these two equations, and then as well as the added these equation, addition, subtraction, addition, and as per follow this process and I solve this example. No students, no, this is the wrong way. Okay, this is not the process to solve the simultaneous equation using the grammar rule, using the grammar rule. Okay student, so you should have to solve this equation by the grammar rule. So the process is here, the process is that the First I calculate the D, that is equal to, okay, so here coefficient of x write down here and the coefficient of y write down here. So now here I write down, that is the cross multiplication. So here 3 multiply 3 minus here 4 multiply minus 4. So that means here 3 3s are 9 minus here 4 4s are 16. So minus 16. So here 9 plus 16, minus of minus 16, and that means the 16. So here 25. So D is equal to 25. Okay, then here you have to solve it here, that d of x. So how can we write the d of x here, student? So for the d of x, you hide the coefficient of x. You hide the coefficient of x, and at the place of x, you write down the constant, the given constant of the equation, and that are the 10 5. Okay, so write down the 10 5 and write down the y coordinate as it is, sorry, coefficient of y as it is. Okay, and then cross multiplication. So here students, d of x is equal to cross multiply it, 10 multiply 3 minus 5 multiply minus 4. So here students, 10 multiply 3, that is the 30, minus 5 multiply minus 4, that means the 20, minus 20. So here 30 plus 20, and that is equal to 50. So here students, d of x is equal to 50. D of x is equal to 50. Okay. Then here students, now there is a job. Now there is a job of the Cramer's rule. So here I write down by using Cramer's rule. By using Cramer's rule. Okay. By using Cramer's rule, that x is equal to d of x upon d, and here y is equal to d of y upon d. So here x is equal to, what is the value of d of x? Here students, d of x is 50. Yes students, yes, I forgot to calculate. I forgot to calculate the y. Okay, d of y. So here I calculate first here students the x. So here x is equal to 25 ones are 25 and 25 twos are 50. So here 2, x is equal to 2 here. Okay, so now here students we have the value of x. Okay, now there is a job for to find out the d of y. So how can we find out the d of y? So here d of y is equal to, so here students, the d of y, that means you hide here. In the d, you hide the coefficient of y, and at the place of that y, coefficient of y, you write down the constant. So here I write down the 10 5 and write down the coefficient of x as it is. So here 3 4. Okay students, here 3 4. So now here students, that is cross multiply 3 multiply 5 minus 4 multiply 10. So here students, 15 minus 40, and that is equal to here minus 25. Okay, so d of y is equal to 21. Okay, d of y is equal to 25. So now here minus 25 students. Okay, so now here students, that here I write down by using Cramer's rule. By using Cramer's rule. Okay, that y is equal to d of y is equal to d. That means y is equal to minus 25 upon 25. So here y is equal to minus 1. Y is equal to minus 1. Okay students, such a way you can solve it. Okay, then next one students, नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल, चलो आगे लेते हैं नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल. यस, दिस इज ऑल्सो द क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द फायनान्शियल प्लॅनिंग. ओके, फायनान्शियल प्लॅनिंगचे सुद्धा 2 ते 3 क्वेश्चन्स येतात. ओके, सो तुम्हाला ते सुद्धा फॉर्म्युले लक्षात ठेवायचे आहेत, त्याच्या सुद्धा प्रॅक्टिस करायची आहे. ओके स्टुडंट्स, देन नेक्स्ट वन, that is the third question. 50 shares of face value rupees 10 were purchased for market value of rupees 25. Company declared 30% dividend on the shares. Then find sum invested, dividend received, and then here the rate of return. Okay, then here the rate of return. So now here students, first we write down the given. First we write down the given. So here in the given, I write down that the 50 shares. 50 shares, that means students here the number of shares. So I write down here number of shares. Number of shares is equal to 50, and then face value rupees 10. So here face value, that means I write FV is equal to rupees 10. Okay student, and then for purchase for market value, so here market value MV is equal to rupees 25. Okay, and the company declared 30% dividend. So the rate of dividend, we write down here the rate of dividend. So here rate of dividend is equal to 30%. Okay students, this way. And we have to find out the one, that is here the sum invested. First write down sum invested. Okay, sum invested is equal to question mark. Then second one, that is the dividend received, that is dividend received. Okay, and then the third one I write rate of return is equal to question mark. Okay, rate of return is equal to question mark. Okay student, such a way we can write down the given and as which value we have to calculate. So I write here this way the such a information. So now we are ready to solve this example. Okay, so here first we write down the rate of dividend, sorry, sum invested. First we have to find out sum invested. Okay, so here sum invested is equal to question mark. Sum invested is equal to question mark. So now here students, that the sum invested, the formula, there is a formula for the sum invested, and that formula is that students, the number of share into market value. So I write here number of shares multiply the market value. So here students, the number of shares are 50. Number of shares are 50 and the market value is the rupees 25. Okay students, rupees 25. So here 25 5s are, that is 125 and 0. So here students, which is equal to rupees 1250. So I write here, therefore sum invested is equal to 1250. Okay, now first part is completed. Then the second one question, is that to find out the dividend received. Okay, so here students, the dividend received. Okay, dividend received is equal to question mark. So now here students, the dividend received is equal to, so now here students, for before to find out the dividend received for the 50 shares, we have to calculate the dividend received for only one share, okay. So here we have to calculate the total dividend received students, okay. We have to calculate the total dividend received, and that is for the number of shares are 50. But first we calculate the dividend for the one share, okay. So I write down dividend received for one share, dividend received for one share. So now here students, what is the formula that? So the formula is that rate of dividend rate of dividend multiply face value, okay, multiply face value. So now here rate of dividend, that rate of dividend, see here 30% students, 30%, and the face value, that face value is rupees 10. So here 10. So now 30%, that means 30 upon 100 multiply 10. So that means here students 0 get cancelled, and that means 3. So here we can say that rupees 3. Okay. So the dividend share, here I write down that dividend received for one share, okay, this way, for one share, that is the rupees 3. But here also the question is remaining, answer is remaining, that is we have to calculate the total dividend received, So here I write down the total dividend received for 50 shares, is equal to number of shares multiply the dividend received for the one share, dividend received for one share, dividend received for one share, okay students. So now this way substitution, number of shares are 50 and the dividend received for one share, and that is equal to 3. So here 50 multiply 3, that means here students total dividend received, that is rupees 150. Okay students, the second one question is solved. Okay, then the third one, that we have to calculate rate of return. Okay students, we have to calculate the rate of return. So here students, how can we calculate the rate of return? Okay, so see here students, how can we solve it? Okay, then the next one. Okay, I write here that rate of return, third one, rate of return is equal to question mark. Okay, it is also called as the ROR, students. ROR, rate of return. Okay. Okay. So now here, students, that rate of return, there is a formula for rate of return, and that is equal to students the dividend, that dividend multiply the multiply here sum invested. Yes, students, multiply the sum invested. Okay, and then divided by sum invested, multiply 100. Okay, so here I write down the 100. So here dividend. So what is the dividend? So dividend is equal to total dividend. So here 150. So I write here 150 and divided by 1250. Sum invested. We calculate at the first example, sum invested 1250 multiply 100. Okay, students? And then here 150 multiply 100 divided by 1250. Okay, students? And then here, students, I cancel out that 0, 0. Okay, and then here, students, that is the 15 ones are 5 threes are. First I write down the simplify, 5 threes are 50. Okay, then here 5 twos are 10. And then 5 fives are 25. Okay. Then here, students, 25. And then here 25 ones are, and here 25 fours are. Bas. Okay. So here, students, that is the rate of return. So I write down the rate of return, which is equal to that 3 multiplied 4, and that means here 12%. Okay, that means here, students, 12%. Yes. बघा बरं किती एक्झाम्पल इझी आहे की नाही. फॉर्म्युला जर माहित असेल तर एक्झाम्पल लगेच सॉल्व्ह होत आहे. ओके, चला आता एक आपण बघूया. 12% हे झालंय, सगळं झालेले आहेत सॉल्व्ह करून. 1 2 3. ओके, सम इन्व्हेस्टेड इज ₹1250. Then dividend received is ₹150, and the rate of return, that is for 12%. Okay, student. Then next one example, students. See the next one example. Yes. Okay. Next one example. Question 4. Yes, students. So we comfortably we solve the question 3. Okay. अगदी घाई गडबड न करता आपण हे सॉल्व करत आहोत. अगदी मॅथ्स सोडवताना आपल्याला खूप शांत माइंडने आपल्याला सॉल्व करायचे असतात एक्झाम. सो अगदी कीप क्वाइट, अगदी शांतपणे ही प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करा. ओके. देन नेक्स्ट वन, स्टुडंट, द क्वेश्चन फॉर solve the following sub questions, any two, and each of the having mark 4 students. Okay, आता job is very difficult. ओके, सो आपल्याला अगदी हा आपला जॉब खूप आता कठीण आहे. ओके, सो अगदी शांत माइंडने ही प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करूया आपण. चला. A tank can be filled up by 2 taps in 6 hours. The smaller tap alone takes 5 hours more than the bigger tap alone. Find the time required by each tap to fill the tank separately. Yes, student. So this is the hard question. Okay. So now here no problem. We can solve it very easily. But we carefully again read the question, and then you can mind it and then solve it. Okay, so first that a tank can be filled up to 2 taps. So here they mention that there are the 2 taps. Okay, they mention here that there are the 2 taps. Okay, and that By the two taps, the time filled in 6 hours. Okay, so separately we write down the time period. We write down the time period for filling up a tank by these taps. Okay, a time filled by the two taps. So first tap and the second tap. Okay, so here one by one we write down the condition. Okay, then here the smaller tap alone takes 5 hours. Okay, and more than the bigger tap alone. So here students, we have to consider the bigger tap. Okay, we have to consider the bigger tap. So here I write down, let x be the time period to fill a tank. Okay, to fill a tank. Okay, x be the now x be the not time taken, that is a bigger tap. The time period to fill a tank for the bigger tap, or here we write from the bigger tap. Okay, from the bigger tap. Okay, and then as per the condition, that means here students, the smaller tap. So the smaller tap takes x plus 5. See here, smaller tap alone takes 5 hours. Yes, x plus 5 hours to fill a tank. Okay students, this way. Now here, that the tank, the bigger tank, so now here we write down the time filled in 1 hour. The time filled in 1 hour. The bigger tank, sorry, the tank filled, in 1 hour by bigger tap, by bigger tap, which is equal to 1 upon x, which is equal to 1 upon x. And here students, the tank filled in 1 hour by smaller tap, which is equal to 1 upon x plus 5. Okay students, you get it this point? Okay, then come to the condition. As per the given condition, we write here, as per the given condition, as per the given condition. So the condition is that students, a tank can be filled up by the two taps in 6 hours. So here 1 upon x plus 1 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1 upon 6. Okay students, because the both taps are used. Here both taps are used. So I write down here 1 upon x plus 1 upon 1 upon x plus 1 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1 upon 6. Okay, so this is our condition. So now here we have to solve it. Then we can get the answer. So here multiplication, cross multiplication, x plus 5 plus x upon x multiply x plus 5 is equal to 1 upon 6. So that means x plus x, that is equal to 2x plus 5. Then here x multiply x plus 5, that is x square plus 5x, which is equal to 1 upon 6. Okay, then again do the cross multiplication. 6 multiply 2x plus 5, and here 1 multiply x square plus 5x. If 1 multiply x square plus 5x, that means students the same answer. Here the 12x plus 30 is equal to x square plus 5x. So here students, in the simplest way, we write the equation as x square plus 5x minus 12x minus 30. That means students, 0 is equal to x square minus 7x minus 30. Okay students, and then here I solve this equation here students. Okay. So here x square minus 7x minus 30 is equal to 0. Okay, such a way. See here that the answer is correct. Yes, x square minus 12x minus 30. So x square minus 7x minus 30. Yes, correct. So now here students, solve this equation with the formula method. You may solve it. You may solve it. Your convenient method. ओके तुम्हाला जी सोयीस्कर पडते तू कन्व्हिनियंट पडते तुम्हाला इझिएस्ट मेथड पडते त्या इझिएस्ट वेने तुम्ही हा प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करू शकता. ओके यू गेट द सोल्युशन हियर बाय द फ्रॅक्शन factor method, by the formula method, you can find out this equation. Okay students, so anyway you can do it. Okay, then here students, I solve this equation with the help of the factorization method. Okay student, so here we want the two numbers such that their product will be minus 30, their product will be minus 30, and their addition or subtraction, their addition or subtraction may be the minus 7. Okay, so the minus 7. So which are these numbers? So I get that number 10 threes are 10 threes are. Okay, so here 10 and 10 threes are. So here minus 10 and here positive 3. Yes, I got this number. Yes, okay. These are the two numbers, minus 10 and plus 3. So minus 10 plus 3, that means minus 7, and minus 10 multiply 3, that means a minus 30. Yes student, so I write here x square minus 10x plus 3x minus 30 is equal to 0. So now here students, first I take the group of these two terms and the group of these next one. Okay, and then common between these two terms, that is x minus 10 in the bracket, plus here common in between these two terms, that is a 3, and here in the bracket x minus 10, which is equal to 0. Yes students, and then here students, that is x minus 10 in the first bracket and x plus 3 in the second bracket, which is equal to 0. So here x minus 10 is equal to 0, or we say x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, x minus 3 is equal to 0, or we say x minus 3 is equal to x plus 3 is equal to 0. So here students, x is equal to 10, or students x is equal to minus 3. Yes students. So now here students, x is equal to -3. So it is not possible. So this is not applicable. So here students, we say that it is not possible. It is not possible. So which one answer is possible? So the answer is x is equal to 10. Okay. So which we have to write down that the x is equal to 10. That what is the x is equal to 10? So that means here students that the time required by the bigger tab, the time, therefore the time required for the bigger tab is equal to 10 hours. Okay, and here students the time required for the smaller students here smaller tab. I write down only bigger. Okay here. So bigger tab is equal to 10 hours. And here students, the smaller tab, it will be 10 plus 5. And that means students here 15 hours. Okay students, that is equal to the 15 hours. So this will be our final answer. Okay, this will be our final answer. Okay students, so बघा असे एक्झाम्पल्स येतात आहे. सो अशा एक्झाम्पलची आपल्याला तयारी करून ठेवली पाहिजे. सो यू शुड बी प्रिपेअर टू सॉल्व सच अ टाइप ऑफ द एक्झाम्पल्स. ओके स्टुडंट, सो प्रिपरेशन कसं तयार होईल? सो प्रिपरेशन तयार होईल ॲज यू रिवाइज द एक्झाम्पल, ॲज यू प्रॅक्टिस द एक्झाम्पल. ओके, सो तुम्हाला जेव्हा तुम्ही हे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व कराल तेव्हा तुम्हाला हे अगदी छान प्रकारे गणित येते. Okay, then here students the next one example. Then the next one example is students, see here the following table shows the classification of percentage of marks of students and the number of students. Draw the frequency polygon from the table without drawing histogram. Yes, we have draw frequency polygon. Yes, we have to draw the frequency polygon. Okay, so here we have to calculate here. Here is the table and the table is given for the result, the two column. There they mention the two column and the first column is for that. First column is for the result in percentage and that is a class interval 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and 80 to 100. Okay students, and the number of students respectively that is 25, 65, 80 and the 50. Okay, so now here students, we require to calculate the frequency polygon. Okay, so here that here we require the class mark students. Okay, we require the class mark here. So for class mark, I make out the third column. Okay, for the class mark, I write down the class mark here. Okay, and students here, the interval. Okay, I write down the class mark and here students intervals. Okay, intervals, or I write down the xi fi. Yes, that is the convenient way. Xi fi. You get understand that? Xi fi. Okay, so what is the xi fi here students? So xi means students the class mark. Okay, xi means the student class mark. And the fi means the frequency student. So here that frequency, that means the number of students. Okay, but how can we calculate the class mark students? Calculate कसं करायचंय ते सांगा. xi. So here the in between the numbers of the class interval, that is a 20 to 40, 20 to 40. Okay, so the in between the 20 to 40, there is 30. Okay, so I write 30. Then here, then 40 to 60, then here 50, and then here 60 to 80, that is a 70, and then here the 80 to 100, that is the 90. Okay, students, and then XIFI is that the 30, 25. Okay, see here, students, observe here, 30, 25, 50, 65, and then here, students, that is 70, 80. Then fourth one, that is 90, 15. Okay, but this way. But you have to extra, you have to join the extra two columns. This original one to the original one. Okay, for the class mark and the exam FI. And then we are ready to draw the frequency polygon here. Okay, from the table. We do not draw the histogram. Okay, we do not draw the histogram. There is no need of the histogram. But here, student, still there is a mistake. We have to get the mistake. Not mistake, but I forgot here. That which one forgotten value here, forgotten thing here, students. That forgotten thing is that you should write the first one and the last one value. Okay, you should write down the first one coordinates of XIFI and the last one coordinate of XIFI. Okay, so the first one XIFI will be here, students. First one XIFI will be here, students. That see here, students. That will be here, the difference is 20 to 40. So here before that 20 to 40, it will be that here 20 and then here 0. So that means here in between that the 10. So here class mark will be 10. So here 10 and 0. Frequency will be, there is not given the value of the frequency. So that is a 0. So the first one coordinate of XIFI is 10, 0. And the last one, what about the last one? The last one will be here we write that 100 to 120, because the difference in between that the lower limit and the upper limit is 20. So here 100 to 120, and the number of students, yes, not given, so write down the 0. And here that class mark, the class mark in between the 100 to 120, and that will be equal to 110 students. Yes, very easy. And the coordinates are 110 and here 0. Bars. Okay. So now this is the completed table. Okay. Okay. So such a way you have to draw the table. Okay. And then next one. Come to the next one. Part, that is draw the frequency polygon. Okay, for now, so students, lakshat theva 10, 0, 30, 25, 50, 65, 70, 80, 90, 15, 110, 0. So these are the coordinates. Okay, then next one, that is, we take the graph here, students. Okay, yes, taking the graph here. So this is the graph paper is ready. Okay, you should also take the graph paper here, and then here I write down the x-axis and y-axis here, students. Okay, so माझ्या सोबतच करायचं आहे. Okay, so first I draw. So लाईन बरोबर एक नाहीये, लाईन बरोबर हे करा. So this is the y-axis. Here y-axis, and this is the this this will be students the x-axis. Okay, this will be the x-axis. Okay, here I write down the x-axis and here y-axis. Okay, now this is the origin, that is a 0. Okay, I write down the 0 here. Okay, now here students, see that are the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, मी बाजूला झालेले आहे, तुम्हाला अगदी चांगल्या प्रकारे दिसेल that this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis students. Okay, and this one is the origin. Okay, now here students, on the x-axis, you can take the points starting from, that is a 20, then here 40, then 60, 80, and then here 100, 120, and then 140. Okay students, and these are the class interval, and the class interval, that is the result in percentage. So here I write down the result in percentage. Okay, so arrow mark toward this way. Okay, and on the y-axis we have taken the number of students, and that means it is the frequency. So here I write down this way, number of students. Okay, you may write down this. Okay, and the number of students, that means students, here we write down the taking the scale from 10, 20. So here students, I take out the year from this way. I first mark here. Okay, so here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and last one, that is the 100. Okay students? Yes. So you know that the interval, okay, you know that the coordinates point of xi by fi. Okay, so the first one is that the students, the 10 0. Okay, so where is the position of 10 0? So this is the position of 10 0. So I write down 10 0. Okay, next one is that students, 0, sorry, 30 25. So here is the 30 and the 25 is here. Okay, this one 30 25. Okay, then the next one students, see the next one, 50 65. 50, here is the 50 and the 65 on the y-axis. So here this one 50 65. Okay, then next one students, the next one is that 70 80. So here student, this one is the 70 on the x-axis and 80 on the y-axis. So this point 70 80, and the next point students, that is the 90 15. 90 from here on the x-axis, 90 and 15 students. So in between the 10 and 20, so this point 90 and here 15. Okay, and then last one students, that is the 110 0. So here students, 110 0. Yes, we plot all the coordinate points and then one by one with the help of the scale, students, you draw it. But without scale, I draw it. Okay, first, second, then the second, third, then here, fourth one, here, Okay, then the fourth and fifth this way, and the fifth and sixth this way. So this is the frequency polygon. Yes, and the that is the main thing is that you write down the scale here at this corner. On x-axis, on x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 20. That 20 means the 20%. Okay, and then here students, that is on y-axis, on y-axis 1 centimeter taken as the 10. What is the 10? That is the 10 students. Okay, so this way. So this is the scale that you have to write down. Okay students, so now here our frequency polygon is completed. Okay, we do it students. Okay, अशा प्रकारे एक्झाम्पल्स सॉल्व करायचे आहेत, ग्राफ काढायचा आहे. ओके, चला नेक्स्ट वन स्टुडंट्स. The next one example is students that yes, in Mahila Bachat Gat. Yes students, yes, this is the okay. This one is the right question. In a Mahila Bachat Gat, Kavita invested from the first day of month rupees 20 on first day, rupees 40 on second day, and rupees 60 on third day. If she saves like this, then what would be her total saving in the month of February 2020? Yes, in the month of February 2020. So students, lakshat theva, that is the number of days in the February 2020, which are how many? So there are 29 days. Okay. So now here first we write down the given. So here first we write down the AP. First we write down the AP of that is the here first I write the Kavita investment. The Kavita invested money is in AP. Is in AP. Okay, Kavita or Kavita invested money is in AP or Kavita's investment is in AP. Okay, so here we write down that 20, 40, 60, comma dot dot are AP. Okay, this is the AP. Are in AP. Are in AP. We write down that are in AP. Okay, and then student next one, that if this is in AP, that means students from the AP we write A is equal to 20, D is equal to 40 minus 20, and that means here equal to 20. Okay, now here students, what we have to calculate here? Okay, first also write down that given value month of February 2020. Okay, month of February 2020. So that means students n is equal to 29. Okay, n is equal to 29. Then here students, then here what would be her total saving? Yes, we have to find out the total saving. So now here student, the total saving, that means here students, we have to calculate the SN. We have to calculate the SN. Okay, so here I write down that SN is equal to question mark and here. Okay, first I write down here that total saving total saving, and that means S29 is equal to question mark. Okay, because there are the number of days are 29, and one by one as the days passing out, she invested the money. Okay, so now here this is the information, given information, and we write down the formula, and that formula for the SN. So SN is equal to n upon 2 divided by 2a plus n minus 1 multiply d. So which is equal to S29 divided by 29 upon 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 20 plus 29 minus 1 d, that will be 20, bracket completed. So now here students, that I solve here S29. S29 is equal to 29 upon 2, 29 upon 2 in the bracket here 40 plus 29 minus 1, that is a 28, multiply 20, bracket complete. So here 29 upon 2 in the bracket 40 plus here 28 twos are, that means the 560. So here I find 56. So here 560. Okay. So now here 29 upon 2 in the bracket 40 plus 560. So here 29 multiplied. So the answer is 560 plus 40, that means a 600. So divided by 2. So now here 29 multiply, here 2 ones are, here 2 threes are 6 and 0 zeros. That means 29 multiply 300. Okay student, so 29 multiply 300, and that means the 87. So 8700. So S29 is equal to 8700. That means students, here we write down the answer as Kavita's total saving. Kavita's total saving is equal to rupees 8700. Rupees 8700. Okay students, बस एवढंच करायचंय. Okay, then next one, see the next one example. Okay, बघा students, आपण किती पटापट आपण केलेलं आहे. Okay, है की नाही? Then next one example students. Yes, here is the pie diagram, and that is for the cricket, kabaddi, football and the hockey. Okay, so now here the information, here the information is that, or the example is that, in the given figure, I read that example, that in the figure the total amount spent, the pie diagram represent the amount spent on different sports by a school administration in a year. And if the money spent on football is 9,000, money here, that money spent by football, money spent on football is equal to rupees, or we say football is rupees 9,000. Okay, this information is given, and then here if the answer the following question. Okay, we have to answer the following question. What is the total amount spent on sports? Then second one, what is the amount spent on cricket? Yes, first we write down, we know that the money spent on football is 9,000. Okay, so at the given information, By the given information, we first calculate the total amount spent on sports. So first I write down the total amount spent on sports is equal to question mark. Okay. Now here students, only the given information is that the money spent on football is rupees 9,000. Okay. So now here first I consider that the total amount spent on sport, that is equal to X. You have to assume that or not assume that, only write down such a way that only directly write down the example. Yes, then you can write down. So here first I write down the amount spent on football. Amount spent on football. Okay, and you know that this element having the formula that here the for 45, that the central angle divided by the total, that is the uh, central angle and the total angle. That means the central angle is here football, that is a 45%. Okay, for the football, and the here 360, and then multiply here, that is the total amount spent. Total amount spent on sports. Okay, so this will be our formula. Okay, this will be our formula. So now here students, so amount spent on football, that is equal to 9,000. So here I write down the 9,000, which is equal to 45 degree upon 360, multiply here total amount spent on sports. Okay, and then here 9,000 multiply 360 divided by 45. Okay, and that is equal to 45 ones are 45 twos are 90, then here 1 0. So now here 200 into 360, that is equal to 200 into 360. Okay students, and 36 twos are, that is the 72, and 1 2 3, so that means 72,000. Okay, 72,000. So I write down the final answer. Total amount spent on sports, which is equal to rupees 72,000. Okay, which is equal to 72,000. Okay students, now the next one, what is the amount spent on cricket? Yes, what is the amount spent on cricket? Okay, so now here I write down here that second one, that is a big part, the amount spent on cricket. The amount spent on cricket is equal to question mark. Okay, so now here students, we make out the formula. Okay, we make out the formula. So what is the formula? So that is the formula for here, that amount spent on cricket is equal to So first we write at the numerator place, that is the angle made by the cricket, and that angle made by the cricket, that is 160, and the total measure of the circle, and that is equal to 360, and divided by the total amount spent by sports. Total amount spent by spent on sports. Okay, and now here in the first example we calculate the total amount spent on sports, that is equal to 72,000. So I put this value here, and then here 160 divided by 360. So here student, 160 multiply 72,000 divided by 360. So here 100 get cancelled. 36 ones are 36, 36 twos are 72, 1, 2. So that means here 160 multiply. So students here 160, that here amount spent on cricket. Amount spent on cricket. Amount spent on cricket is equal to 160 multiply 200. 160 multiply 200, and that is equal to 32, 1, 2, 3. That will be equal to rupees 32,000, which is equal to rupees 32,000. Okay students, so now here students, such a way we complete with the help of the pie diagram, we completed the two examples. Then next one students, the next one example is that draw the graph of the equation x plus y is equal to 4 and answer the following question. Which type of the triangle is formed by the line with x and y axis based on its side? Yes, and then find the area of that triangle. Yes, by first here we have to draw first. Before drawing the graph, we have to finding out the coordinates of the given equation. Okay, students, the coordinate of the given equation. So for that, we make the table first. Okay, for the given value of x, y. So that your wish. Okay. So now here, students, I I uh, I know that it is the coordinates find out not only on the graph but here, but still I draw it on the graph paper. Okay, after that I rub out that. Okay, that here the equation x plus y is equal to 4. So here take out the graph paper students. Yes, the graph paper is ready. So here students, first I write down here, yes, there is a space students. Okay, so x plus y is equal to 4. Yes, is it right or not? Yes, x plus y is equal to 4. So now here I make out the table, and that is for here. First one is for x, then y, the coordinate xy. Okay, and then here write down the three values. So here I take a, b, c. Okay, then x is equal to 0, then minus 1, and here 2. Okay, very easy. So now here students, I first take the value of first one, that is when x is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, as x is equal to 0, then the equation x plus y is equal to 4. So 0 plus y is equal to 4. So y is equal to 4. So I write down here 4. So the coordinate will be 0, 4. Okay. Then the second value, students, when x is equal to minus 1. So write down the equation x plus y is equal to 4. So minus 1 plus y is equal to 4. So here y is equal to 4 plus 1, that is equal to y is equal to 5. Okay. So the coordinate will be here, students, the minus 1, 5. So minus 1, 5. And the third one, that is x is equal to 2. So the third one I write here, when x is equal to 2. When x is equal to 2 and the given equation x plus y is equal to 4, that means 2 plus y is equal to 4. So y is equal to 4 minus 2. So that means y is equal to 2. Okay, students? So such a way that the last coordinate is 2. Here first I write down the 2, 2, 2. Okay, that is a 2, 2. So this way we have the coordinates. So now here draw the outline of the graph. Okay, draw the outline of the graph. First here make out the xo x dash. Make out the xo x dash. Okay, see here, students. Okay, okay. Yes, okay. Yes, this way. Okay. So this is the x and here the x dash. Okay. And then here it is the O, x or x dash. So now here making the y o y dash here. Draw the vertical line. Yes. Okay. So this is the y o y dash. Okay, students, y o y dash. So now here plot these points. But before that, write down that 1, here 2, 3, 4 and 5. On the left hand side, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. Then here upper side, 1, 2, then 3, 4, here 5. Then lower side of the y-axis, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, such a way. Okay, here minus 1. Then here plot the graph coordinates. So now here first coordinate 0, 4, 0, 4. So this is on the x-axis 0 and taking the 4 on the y-axis. Okay, 0, 4. So this is the 0, 4, coordinate 0, 4. And that is called as A. We call as A04. Okay, then here the next one B, that is minus 1, 5. So minus 1 is here and the 5, 5 is on the x-axis. So here y-axis, 5 on the y-axis. So here this point is B, minus 1, 5. Okay, student? And then next one, students, here the C point the coordinates are 2, 2. So here 2 on the x-axis and here 2 on the y-axis. So here C 2, 2. Okay, this way. So now here students, we draw the line that passing through these points, passing through these 3 points. So I draw it roughly. Okay, then here yes. Okay. Now finally I done it. Okay, this way. Okay, this way. and at this end, I write down the equation x plus y is equal to 4. Okay, at the end. Then now here students, see here that here is the 4. Okay, and here is also 4. This is the 4 unit. This is the 4 units up to this. Okay, and here students, this is the 4 units also. And then here that students, if you observe that on the x-axis and on the y-axis you get the triangle, and the triangle having the right angle triangle, and with the congruent two-sided. So that means here students, the type of the graph is isosceles right angle triangle. Okay, so this one is the first one answer. So here we say that this is the this is an isosceles right angle triangle. Okay students, and then next one we have to find out the area. Okay, we have to find out the area. So here area of the triangle is equal to half into base into height. Okay, half into base into height. So now here students, 1 upon 2 multiply 4 and that means here 4 multiply 4 divided by 2, that means here 8. So here 8 square units. Okay, so here area of the triangle is equal to 8 square unit. Okay student, so such a way with the help of graph we can solve this example. Okay, and now here students that we completed the March 2024 previous year exam paper. Okay, board question paper here. So now here students, this session is only for you students. Your result should be 100%. तुमचा result 100% लागावा म्हणून तुमच्यासाठी हे सेशन आम्ही आणलेलं आहे. So it is very very beneficial to you students to scoring the 100%. Okay student, and so students तुम्ही ह्या सेशनचा ॲडव्हान्टेज घ्यायचा आहे and you should surely, you definitely students, you like our videos, share our videos with your friends, and students do not forget that you subscribe our channel. Okay, so such a type of the sessions are coming. Okay, so now end with this session. Okay, so bye and best of luck students.